In this video, we will solve Mathematics Paper 2 Variant 1 for October-November 2020. So let's start with question number 1. Part A is, here is some information about a holiday. A 7-night holiday is $340 per person, and you get an 8% discount if you book before 31st March. On February 15th, Naseem books this holiday for 2 people. Calculate the total cost of his holiday. So since it's booked before March 31st on February 15th, this booking will be eligible for this 8% discount as well. So first, let's calculate the cost for 2 persons. This will be 340 multiplied by 2, which is $680. Then you get the discount, which is 8%. So let's calculate the discount, which is 8% of the total cost, 680. This will be 8 over 100 multiplied by 680. Multiplied by 680. So this is $54.4. And then your cost after the discount will be 680 minus 54.4. So 680 minus 54.4, which is $625.6. So your final answer will be 625.60. So $625.60. Part B is Naseem hires a car for his holiday. The total cost is $241.50. The cost includes 15% tax. Calculate the cost of hiring the car excluding the tax. So let the cost before tax, let's call it before tax, equals to X dollars. So if your cost is X dollars, then you add a 15% tax to it, then you get the total cost, which is $241.50. So you have X dollars plus 15% of X, which is the tax, and that should equal to the total cost, which is 241.50. So this will be 15% of X will be 15 divided by 100 multiplied by X, which is 0.15X. So I can write this as 0.15X equals to 241.50. This will be 1.15X equals to 241.50, and then X will be equal to 241.50 divided by 1.15, which is $210. So your cost excluding the tax is $210, and when you add the 15% tax to it, it becomes $241.50. Part C is Naseem drives a total of 800 kilometers on holiday. He uses 29.6 liters of fuel. Calculate the average rate of fuel used in liters per 100 kilometers. So we can easily use the ratio method here. So you have liters ratio kilometers. So he uses 29.6 liters for 800 kilometers, and then we need to find how much fuel is used in liters per 100 kilometers. So the unknown is the fuel in liters. Let's call this X, and these are directly proportional because the more distance you travel in kilometers, the more fuel in liters will be used. So you will cross multiply to form this equation. So this will become 800x equals to 29.6 multiplied by 100, and x will be 29.6. So let's actually multiply this by 100. You will get 2960 divided by 800. So 2960 divided by 800, you will get 3.7 liters is the fuel used for every 100 kilometers. So 3.7 liters per 100 kilometers. Part D is Naseem changes $450 to euros for his holiday. The exchange rate is between dollars and euros is $1 equals to 0.82 euros. On holiday, he spends 297 euros. Then he changes the remaining money back to dollars when he returns home at this exchange rate. Work out how many dollars he receives. So that means the dollars he receives after he returns home and changes the remaining euros to dollars. So let's start from the top. So first he changes $450 to euros. So you have dollars ratio euros. So the exchange rate is $1 is 0.82 euro, and he exchanges $450. So let's call this X euros. So this will be directly proportional as well, because more dollars will give you more euros and less dollars will give you less euros. So X will be 450 multiplied by 0.82. 450 multiplied by 0.82, and this is 369 euros that Naseem will receive. And then on holiday, he spends 297 euros. So how many remaining are left? So remaining euros after holiday. So he had 369 and he spent 297. So minus 297. So 369 minus 297 is 72 euros are left. And then he returns home with 72 euros, which he converts back to dollars on this exchange rate. So again, we will use dollars ratio euros. So now you have $1 is 0.80 euro, and Naseem is exchanging 72 euros to, let's call them, Y dollars. And again, we'll cross multiply. You'll get 0.80 y equals to 72, and then y will be 72 divided by 0.80. 72 divided by 0.80 is 90. So Naseem will receive $90 back at the end of the holiday. So question number 2, part A, the cumulative frequency diagram shows the masses in grams of 60 potatoes of variety A. So on the y-axis, you have the cumulative frequency. On x-axis, you have the mass in grams. Part 1 is use the diagram to estimate the median value. So the median value will be the mass at the 50th percentile. So what is the 50th percentile? This will be, so there are a total of 60 potatoes, and you can see as well the cumulative frequency graph goes up till 60. So 50% of 60 will be your 50th percentile, which is 60 divided by 2 basically, which is 30. So now you have to calculate, actually find the value, mass value when your cumulative frequency value is 30. So let me draw a straight line when the cumulative frequency value is 30. So it will be this. And then you have to find the mass on the x-axis. So it will be this point here. So each small block here represents a value of 2. So this is 180, 182, 184, 186, 188. So this value here is 188 grams. So your median value here is 188. And the next value that you have to find is the interquartile range. So your interquartile range is your upper quartile value minus the lower quartile. So let's find the upper quartile first. Upper quartile is mass at 75th percentile. And your 75th percentile will be 75% of 60, which is 75 divided by 100 and then multiplied by 60. So this is 45. And then your lower quartile will be the mass at 25th percentile. So 25% of 60 will be 0.25 0.25 multiplied by 60. This is 15. So now let's go back to the graph here. So 75th percentile is 45. So 45, this will be 40, 42, 44, 45 will be in the middle here between the two blocks. So this is at 45, and on the x-axis this goes down to this value, which is 208, since this is one block before 210. So your upper quartile is 208 grams, and then your lower quartile is at 25th percentile, and we know that 25th percentile is 15. So let's draw a line at 15. So this is 10, 12, 14, and this will be 15 here. So this is at 15, and on the x-axis the mass is 170. So your lower quartile value is 170, and then your interquartile range, I can write it as IQR, is 208 upper quartile minus the lower quartile, which is 170. So 208 minus 170, this is 38. So your interquartile range is 38 gram. Part 2 is potatoes with a mass greater than 220 grams are sold as baking potatoes. Find the percentage of the potatoes that are sold as baking potatoes. So baking potatoes are those whose mass is greater than 220 gram. So if I go back up here, so this is 220 grams. So if I draw a straight line, I basically need to find how many potatoes have mass greater than 220. So let's look at the cumulative frequency value when the mass is 220. So this is, in fact, let me correct this and redraw this again. So this is one block above 50. So this is 52. So that means 52 potatoes have a mass of 220 grams or less. So the remaining, how many? 8. 60 minus 52. Remaining 8 have a mass that is greater than 220 grams. So let's go back down. So number of potatoes with mass greater than 220 gram equals to 60. You can go back. So this is the number that I'm looking at. These are the potatoes which have a mass greater than 220 grams. So 60 minus 52 equals to 8. But we need to find the percentage of potatoes that are sold as baking potatoes. So percentage of potatoes will be 8. 8 are baking potatoes whose mass is greater than 220 gram, and total number of potatoes are 60 multiplied by 100. So this is 13.3% of potatoes are baking potatoes. You have to write your answer up till 3 significant figures, since this is not an exact answer. So this answer will be 13.3%. Part 3 is the masses of 60 potatoes of variety B are also measured. For variety B, the median is 175 and the interquartile range is 30 gram. Kaylee wants to buy potatoes that are more consistent in mass. Should she choose variety A or variety B? Explain how you decide. So more consistent means that if she picks some potatoes to buy, their masses should be similar. There should not be a lot of variation in their masses. So the masses should be close to each other. So we can find this information from the interquartile range, which is the difference between the upper quartile, which is the mass at 75th percentile, and the lower quartile, which is the mass at 25th percentile. So for variety A, the interquartile range is 38 grams, but for variety B, the interquartile range is 30 grams. So variety B, because the interquartile range IQR is smaller, that means for variety B, there is less variation in mass between the potatoes compared to variety A, where the variation is larger. So with less variation, it means the potatoes will be more consistent in mass for variety B. Part B is the table shows the masses m grams of 120 potatoes of variety C. So there are 10 potatoes between that weigh between that have a mass between 80 and 100 grams. 15 potatoes have a mass between 100 and 120 grams, and so on. Calculate an estimate of the mean mass. So since you're given class intervals here rather than the exact values, so to calculate the mean, I'll first need the mid value of each class. So let's add another row. Let's call it the mid value. So the mid value here is 80 plus 100, 180. 180 divided by 2 is 90. 90 is the mid value for this class interval 80 to 100. Similarly, the mid value here will be 110. Here it will be 125. This one will be 135. This one will be 140 plus 200. So let's do this 140 plus 200 and divide by 2 to get the mid value, which is 170. Now the mean value will be sigma. You can use the formula sigma fx over sigma f. We already know sigma f, which is the sum of all frequencies, will be 120 because the total number of potatoes is 120. So your denominator is 120. And then in the numerator, you will multiply the mid value with its frequency and then add them all together. So 90 multiplied by 110. Oh, sorry, 90 multiplied by 10 plus 110 multiplied by 15 plus 125 multiplied by 42 plus 135 multiplied by 36 and plus 170 multiplied by 17. So 90 into 10 plus 110 into 15 plus 125 into 42 plus 135 into 36, 170 into 17. So this is 15550 divided by 120. So this divided by 120 will be 129.583. And then since this is 3, 3, 3, and so on, I can write it up till three significant figures. So 1, 2, 3. This 9 will be rounded up to 0 because the next value is 5. So this will become 130. So your mean value is 130 gram. Part C is a bag of potatoes has a mass of 2.5 kg, correct to the nearest 100 gram. Bag of potatoes are packed into a box. The mass of the box is 600 gram, correct to the nearest 10 gram. Calculate the upper bound of the total mass in kilograms of a box and 10 of these bags of potatoes. So to calculate the combined upper bound, first I need to find the upper bound of each bag and the upper bound of the box. And then we can calculate the combined upper bound of the box containing 10 of these bags. So since these are given in grams, I'll convert this 2.5 kg into grams as well. So bag of potatoes has a mass of 2.5 kg. So let's first calculate the upper bound for mass of bag. So the upper bound will be the weight, the mass given, which is 2.5 kg, which is 2500 gram, plus the error value. And the error value here will be 100 divided by 2, which is 50. So 50, and this will be 2550. And then you have to find the upper bound for mass of the box. Again, it will be the mass of the box, which is 600 gram, plus the error value. So error here will be, this is nearest 10 grams, so 10 divided by 2 in this case, which will be 5 grams. So this will be 600 plus 5, which is 605 grams. So now the upper bound of box and 10 bags. So upper bound of box and 10 bags. So box, the upper bound mass for the box is 605, plus for 10 bags, the upper bound mass will be the mass of upper bound mass of one bag, which is 2550 multiplied by 10. So 2550 multiplied by 10. This is the upper bound mass for 10 bags, plus the box is 605, plus, so this is 26,105 grams. But the answer you need is in kg, so divide this by 1000. So this will be 26.105 kg. So I won't write this down to three significant figures because this is already an exact answer. So I don't need to write it up till three significant figures. I need to write the full answer, which is 26.10105 kg. Question 3, part A is in triangle PQR. PR is 7.5 centimeter and QR is 6 centimeter. Part 1 is using a ruler and compass only construct triangle PQR. Line PQ has been drawn for you. So your length PR is 7.5 centimeter and QR is 6 centimeter. So we can use our compass here. So first, let's draw the arc for line PR, which is 7.5 centimeters. So I'll place my compass at 0 here and open up until 7.5 centimeter, which is this value here. And then I'll place my compass at point P and draw an arc like this. And then the other one is QR, which is 6 centimeters. So then again, now I will open up my compass up till 6 centimeter here. So moving it back up till 6 centimeter is round about here. And then I'll place it at Q now and then draw the arc. So this will be my point R, and then I can join it with P with a straight line like this, and also join it with Q with a straight line as well. Oops. Like this. So this is your triangle PQR, where PR is 7.5 and QR is 6. So let's move on to the next part. The next part is, by taking suitable measurements from your triangle, calculate the area of triangle PQR. So I can easily calculate this length, which is 8 centimeters. So this length here, PQ is 8 centimeters. And then I can calculate this vertical height of my triangle. So like this would be the perpendicular height of my triangle PQR. So let's measure this as well. So place 0 at R. This is almost 5.4 centimeters. So this length is 5 point, or this height is 5.4 centimeter. So the area of triangle PQR will be 1 by 2 into base, which is PQ, and 8 centimeters, multiplied by the height, which is this perpendicular height that I measured using my ruler, and this is 5.4. So this will be 1 divided by 2 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 5.4. So this is 21.6 centimeter square is the area of your triangle PQR. Part B is the diagram shows two triangles. You're given some lengths and this angle. First part is calculate the angle DAC. So DAC is this angle here. If you look at this triangle ADC, you're given these two lengths and this one angle. And we can use the sine rule because we know this angle and the side opposite. This is the unknown angle and we know the side opposite, the length is 3.8 centimeters. So using the sine rule, I will have sine of angle DAC divided by the length, which is opposite, which is 3.8, equals to sine of this angle 63 divided by the length opposite, which is AC here, which is 5.3 centimeters. So sine of angle DAC will be sine of 63 divided by 5.3. And then if I take this 3.8 to the other side, it will be multiplied. So multiplied by 3.8. So this will be 0.638835. And angle DAC will be sine inverse of this. So if I take sine inverse of this, I will get 39.7 degrees. So 39.7 degrees will be your angle DAC. The next part is calculate angle ABC. So ABC is this angle here. So if you look at this triangle ABC, we know all three lengths of this triangle, and this is the angle that we need to calculate. So we can use the cosine rule using the all three lengths and to calculate this angle here. So cosine rule will be, since I'm looking to find this angle, the side opposite this is AC, so I'll take this AC square equals to AB square plus BC square minus 2 times AB into BC into cos of this angle ABC. So I can use this, and the only unknown in this equation is the angle ABC. So let's substitute the values. AC is 5.3, so this will be 5.3 square. AB is 9.7, so 9.7 square plus BC is 6.4, so oops, 6.4 square minus 2 times 9.7 into 6.4 into cos of angle ABC. So let's solve this equation now. 5.3 square will be 28.09 equals to 9.7 square, which is 94.09 plus 6.4 square is 40.96 minus 2 into 9.7 multiplied by 6.4. So this is 124.16 cos of angle ABC. So let me take these values to the other side. So these will be subtracted on the left hand side here. So I will have 28.09 minus 94.09 minus 40.96. So this is minus 106.96 equals to minus 124.16 cos of angle ABC. Minus and minus cancel out. So cos of ABC will be, I will take this to the denominator. So 106.96 divided by 124.16. So 106.96 divided by 124.16. So cos of ABC will be 0.86147 and angle ABC will be the cos inverse of this. So cos inverse of 0.861, which is 30.5. So your answer up till one decimal place will be 30.5 degrees. So your angle ABC is 30.5 degrees. Question number 4, part A is complete the table below for y equals to 4 over 5 multiplied by 2 power x. So the missing value is when x equals to minus 3. So let's substitute x equals to minus 3 in this equation. So y equals to 4 over 5 multiplied by 2 to the power minus 3. So this will become 4 over 5 multiplied by 1 over 2 power 3. So 4 over 5 multiplied by 1 over 2 power 3 is 8. So this will become 4 divided by 8 fives are 40. So 4 divided by 40 is 0.1. So this will be 0.1. So your value here will be 0.1. Part B is on the grid. Draw the graph of y equals to 4 over 5 multiplied by 2x for values of x between minus 3 and 3. So you're given this table. You've already filled this value. So basically you have to plot this in the grid given below here. So let's plot this. So your first value is minus 3 and 0.1. So let's see. On x-axis, minus 3 is this, and each small block represents a value of 0.1. So minus 3.1 will be this value here. So the other one is minus 2 and 0.2. So minus 2 and 0.2 will be this. Minus 1 and zero point 0.4. So minus 1 and 0.4 will be this value. 0 and 0.8. 0 and 0.8 will be this. 1 and 1.6. 1 and 1.5, 1.6. 2 and 3.2. 2 and 3.2 is this. And then 3 and 6.4. 3 and 6.4 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, this value. So now we can join them to form a smooth curve. So let me try to do that. So this is your graph for the equation y equals to 4 over 5 multiplied by 2 power x. The next part is by drawing a tangent, estimate the gradient of the equation when x equals to 2. So that means you have to draw a tangent at this point when your x value is 2. So I'll use my ruler here to align it with the curve. Such that it will just touch the line at this point. So I think this this looks okay. So now I can basically draw a straight line here that will touch the graph at this location. and then we can take any 2 points on this line to calculate the gradient. So let's take this point, which is 1 and 1, and let's take another point, maybe this one, which is 3 on the x-axis, and 5.123. So 3 and 5.3. So now let's calculate the gradient using these points. So the first point was 1 and 1, and the other one was 3 and 5.3. So 3 and 5.3. So your gradient will be y2 minus y1. So let's take this 5.3 minus 1, and then x2 minus x1, 3 minus 1. So this will be 4.3 divided by 2. So 4.3 divided by 2 is 2.15. So your answer here will be 2.15, which is the gradient when x equals to 2. Part D is use your graph to estimate the solution of this equation. 4 multiplied by 2 power x equals to 5. So now if you look at the equation for which you have drawn the graph, this is 4 by 5 into 2 power x. So now if I divide both sides by 5, I can have the equation of the curve on the left hand side here. So let me rewrite this. 4 multiplied by 2 power x equals to 5. Now let's divide by 5 on both sides. 5 divided by 5. So I can write this on the left side. I can write this as 4 by 5 into 2 power x equals to 5 divided by 5 is 1. So basically on one side you have this equation which is of the curve that you have drawn, and the other side you have the y value which is 1 here. So basically you have to find the value of x, which is the solution of this equation, when y equals to 1 plus 1. So let's go back to our graph. So y equals to 1 is this value. So let me draw a line here at y equals to 1 and see where it intersects the curve. So it intersects at this point here. And if I go down to my x-axis, this is 0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. So using this graph that we have drawn, the solution here is x equals to 0.3 when y was 1. So this is how you will estimate the solution for this equation using the curve that you have drawn. Question number 5. The diagram shows a garden shed positioned on horizontal ground. It is in the shape of a prism with trapezium ABCD as its cross section. So this side, this face here, ABCD, this is a trapezium. The base of the shed ABFE is a rectangle. So this is a rectangle on the base or the floor. And then you're given these lengths. Part 1 is calculate the volume of the shed. So since this shed has this is a trapezium, which is the cross section for this shed. This ABCD is a trapezium. That means the roof of this shed is a slope or a slanting. So this is a slanting slope downwards. So if you look in 3D, this point D will be higher than this point C. So this is a slope in this direction. So this is not a horizontal roof, it's a slope. So your cross section is this trapezium ABCD. So if you look at this trapezium ABCD as a cross section, then this becomes your height of this shed. So to calculate the volume, you know that the formula is the cross section multiplied by the height for the prism. So let's first find the area of this trapezium. Area of cross-sectional trapezium, which is 1 by 2 multiplied by height multiplied by sum of parallel sides. So this angle is 90, this angle is 90. That means 1.85. This length BC is parallel to this length AD. And this is your height of the trapezium. So 1 by 2 multiplied by 1.55 height. Sum of parallel sides will be 1.85 plus 2.25. So let's calculate this. 1 divided by 2 multiplied by 1.55 multiplied by sum of parallel side, which is 1.85 plus 2.25. So this is 3.1775 centimeter, or sorry, meter square. All the dimensions are in meters. So now to calculate the volume will be the cross-sectional area, which is 3.1775 multiplied by this height of the shed, which is 2.10. So this multiplied by 2.10. 6.67275. So up till three significant figures, I can write it as 6.67 meter cube. 6.67. Part B is the roof of the shed. CGHD is painted. 1 liter of paint covers 2 square meters. Calculate the amount of paint used. So first we need to find the area of the roof. So if I go back, this roof, although this is slanting downwards, but this is a rectangular roof. That means this angle is 90 degree, this angle is 90, this angle is 90, this angle is 90. It's just that it is slanting downwards. So to calculate the area of rectangle, I just need the length and the width. So if this length is 2.10, that means this length is also 2.10. And I need to find this length so that I can calculate the area. So let me erase this. Now, if I look at this trapezium A, B, C, D, and if I draw a line from this side here, like this. In fact, let me try that again. Okay, so this is better. So this angle here is 90 degree. So if I draw this straight line here, I know that this length here, actually let me try a different color. So this length here, oops, is the same as this length, 1.85. So I can easily calculate this length. This will be this full length, which is 2.25 minus 1.85. So 2.25 minus 1.85. So this length here is 0.4. So now if I look at this right angle triangle, I know the height. I know that this length is 1.55. So this length here is 1.55, same as this length below. So basically I've drawn this, I've separated this trapezium into this triangle above and the rectangle below, such that 1.55 and 1.55, the opposite sides are equal. This side is equal to this side. So now for this right angled triangle, I know my base, I know the height, I can calculate this hypotenuse DC, which will give me the other dimension for this height, for the roof. Basically, I'm looking for this width of this rectangle. So this width, let's call this DC. So DC square will equal zero point 0.5 square using the Pythagoras theorem plus 1.55 square. So this will give you DC equals to 0 0.4 square. This is square as well, plus 1.55 square, and then square root of this. This gives you 1.60. So DC is 1.60. So this length here is 1.60. Now I can easily calculate the area of the roof, which will be 1.60 multiplied by 2.10. So let's do that. Area of roof will be 1.60 multiplied by 2.10. So this is 3.36 meters square. So now we have to calculate how much paint is used. So let's use the ratio method, liters ratio area. So 1 liter covers 2 square meters. So 1 liters cover 2 square meter. Area is in meter square. And then you need to calculate how many liters is used for 3.36. Let's call it X. And these are directly proportional, since if you have more area, you will use more paint in liters to cover that area. So these will cross multiply. 2x equals to 3.36. This will give you x equals to 3.36 divided by 2. So 3.36 divided by 2 will be 1.68 liters. Part C is calculate the angle of elevation of D from F. So angle of elevation of this point D from this point F. So let me erase everything else. So if I draw a straight line from D to F, and I can, so this will be my, if I draw also a line from A to F, my angle of elevation is this, from the ground, from the floor at this point F to this point D. So this is my angle of elevation. So if I look at this triangle, DAF, so let me mark this side in blue. So let's look at this triangle DAF. I know this side, I know that this is a 90-degree angle because this point D is vertically above this point A. So I know one side. If I can calculate this length AF, so this 1.85 is the length of BC. So let me just erase this so that it doesn't confuse you. So if I can find this length AF, I know the perpendicular height, I know the base, so I can use tan of theta to calculate this angle of elevation. So how can I find this length AF? I can use this triangle ABF. I know that since the base of this shed is a rectangle, you're told that the base of the shed is a rectangle. So that means this is also a 90-degree angle here. ABF is a 90-degree angle. This is also a right angle triangle ABF. And I know this is 1.55, this is 2.10, so this is the hypotenuse. So again, I can use the Pythagoras theorem to calculate AF. AF square will equal AB square plus BF square. So let's calculate this. AF square equals to AB square plus BF square. So let's substitute the values now. AB is 1.55, BF is 2.10. So 1.55 square plus 2.10 square. So AF will be, let's calculate this, 1.55 square plus 2.10 square and then square root of this. So this is 2.61. AF is 2.61. So let's go back. So this is 2.61 AF. So now this is my, if I draw this triangle DAF in 2D, DAF, this is 90-degree, AF is 2.61, AD is 2.25, and this is my angle of elevation. So I can use tan of theta. So tan of theta will be perpendicular over base, which is dA over AF. So tan of theta will be dA over AF, which is dA is 2.25 and 2.61. So 2.25 over 2.61. So tan of theta will be 2.25 divided by 2.61. 0.862, and theta will be tan inverse of this, which is 40.8 degrees up till 1 decimal place. Rounded up to 1 decimal place. This will be your angle of elevation, 40.8 degrees. So this is the angle of elevation of D from F. Question 6, part A is solve the inequality. So let me bring this 2x here and bring this 7 on this side. So this will become 6x plus 2x greater than 5 plus 7. 8x is greater than 12. X is greater than 12 divided by 8. 1.5. So x is greater than 1.5. Part B is Chen buys 4 notebooks and 3 pens for $17.50. Liu buys 2 notebooks and 5 pens for $14. Form a pair of simultaneous equations and solve them to find the cost of notebook and cost of pen. So let's say cost of notebook equals to $n and cost of pen equals to $p. So Chen buys 4 notebooks, that means 4 times $n plus 3 pens, that means 3 times $p, and the total cost is 17.50. And the other equation we can find from this, Liu buys 2 notebooks, that means 2 times n plus 5 pens, 5 times $p, and the total cost is $14. So this is one, this is your second equation. So what I can do is I can use the elimination method to solve these two simultaneous equations. So if I multiplied this by 2 and then subtract from the first equation, I can eliminate the variable n. So let me rewrite these. So I'll write the first equation as it is, 4n plus 3p equals to 17.50. Then I'll write the second equation but multiply by 2. So 2 times 2 is 4n, 5 times 2 is 10, 14 times 2 is 28. Now I'll subtract the second equation, so I'll change the signs. So this plus becomes minus, this plus becomes minus. 4n minus 4n is 0. 3p minus 10p will be minus 7p. And then 17.5 minus 28. 17.5 minus 28 is equals to minus 10.5. So p will be minus and minus cancel out. 10.5 divided by 7. So this is 1.5 or $1.50, the value of p. Now to calculate the value of n, I can substitute value of p in any of the equations. So let's substitute it here. 2n plus 5 into 1.50 equals to 14. So this will be 2n plus 5 into 1.5, 7.5. 14 minus 7.5. So 14 minus 7.5 and then divide by 2 to get the value of n. So this is 3.25. $3.25 is the cost of the notebook. Part C, one is show that this equation can be rearranged to this form. So I'll take the LCM here. So if I take the LCM, I will get x plus 2 times x minus 5. So this will be multiplied by x minus 5. So x into x minus 5. And since this denominator was multiplied by x plus 2, this 3 will be multiplied by x plus 2 as well. So minus 3 into x plus 2 equals to 4. So if I open the brackets in the numerator, I get x squared minus 5x minus 3x plus, minus 6. And then I'll open the bracket in the denominator as well. So this x squared minus 5x plus 2x minus 10 equals to 4. So let's simplify. Minus 5x, this will become minus 8x. So this will be, sorry, minus 5 minus 3, this will be minus 6 divided by x square minus 3x minus 10 equals to 4. Now I can take this whole thing and multiply on the 4 on this side. So this will become x square minus 8x minus 6 as it is equals to 4x square minus 12x and then minus 40. So let's continue here at the top. So this will become x square. Actually, let me take everything to the right side. So this will become 0 on the left, 4x square, and this will become minus. So 4x square minus x square will be 3x square minus 12x plus 8x. This will become plus on the other side. So this will become minus 12 plus 8 is uh, minus 4x. And minus 40 plus 6 will be minus 34. So this is 3x square minus 4x minus 34 equals to 0. This is the same answer that you had to show. Part 2 is solve this equation. We can use the quadratic formula to solve this. So x will be minus b. Your b is minus 4. So minus 4 plus minus square root of b square minus 4 is c. A is 3 and then minus 34 is c over 2a. A is 3. This becomes plus 4 plus minus square root of 16 minus 4 into 3 multiplied by minus 34. So this will be square root of 424 divided by 6. So x will be 4 plus square root 424 divided by 6, or x equals 4 minus square root of 424 divided by 6. So let's calculate these. 4 plus square root of 424 divided by 6. This is 4.0985 and this is 4.10 up till 3 significant figures. And for this, 4 minus square root of 424 and then divide by 6, minus 2.765 2, and this will be minus 2.77 up till 3 significant figures. So your values are 4.10 or minus 2.77. Question 7 is A, B, C, D are points on the circle. Center O, this angle is 68, this one is 52. First part is find angle CDO. So CDO is this angle here. So if I look at this quadrilateral DOBC, if I know the other two angles, this one and this one, I can sum all these four up to 360 degrees to calculate this. So let's first calculate this angle DOB. So angle DOB will be 2 times 68 because angle at center is twice of angle at circumference, given that both angles are subtended by the same segment. So this is the segment DB. They make this angle at the center and this angle 68 degrees at the circumference. So angle at center will be twice the angle at circumference. So 2 times 68 is 136 degree. So we know now that this is 136 degree. And angle So if I look at this bigger quadrilateral, this one, this is a cyclic quadrilateral with all four angles on the circumference of the circle. So cyclic quadrilateral, the sum of opposite angles is 90°. So this means 68° plus angle DCB will be 180. So DCB will be 180 minus 68. 112. So this angle is 112°. Now I can use this quadrilateral DOB and C, DOBC. This is the only unknown angle, CDO. So let's do this. CDO plus 136 plus 52 plus 112 is 360°. So angle CDO will be, sum these up and then 360 minus. So let's add these 136 to 112, 300. So this will be 60°, CDO. Part B is the cross section of solid A is the sector of a circle of radius 6 centimeters and angle 40°. Height of solid A is 5 centimeter. Calculate the total surface area of solid A. So to calculate the total surface area, we need this top part, which is a sector of a circle, this top part here, and this bottom part will also be the same area. So let's call it the area of sector. This will be 40 over 360 into pi r square into pi into r is radius is this 6 centimeter square, and then I will multiply it by 2 because there are two such sectors, one on the top and one on the at the bottom. So this will be, so let's call this area of sectors because there are two sectors. Multiplied by pi multiplied by 6 square is 36 multiplied by 2. So this is 25.132. So I can write it as 25.13 centimeter square. So now we have calculated this top and bottom. Now let's look at this front, which is a rectangle, and then this back as well, this back side here, which is also a rectangle, and both have the same dimensions. 5 multiplied by 6 will be the area of this rectangle. So let's call it area of rectangles. 6 multiplied by 5 and then multiply by 2 because there are two rectangles. So this will be 30 and then 60 centimeter square. And then the last one that is remaining is this curved surface area, or rather this one, which is this face. This will be the curved surface area because this is an arc here. So how do we calculate the curved surface area? We know that the curved surface area of a cylinder is 2 pi r h. So we can use that to find the area or the curved surface area of this small segment, which is 40°. So let me actually draw this here to show what I mean. So we know that this full curved surface area of the cylinder is 2 pi r h, but since we are only taking like a small segment of this, we are only interested in this small part of this curved surface area of this cylinder, which is this slice or solid A. So let's call this curved surface area. Will be again 40 over 360° into 2 pi r h, which is the formula for the curved surface area. 2 pi, radius is r is 6 here, and the height is 5. pi into 6 into 5. So this is 20.944. So total area will be the sum of these three values. So let's add them. 25.13 plus 60 plus 20.944. This is 106.074. So up till three significant figures, I can write it as 106 centimeters square. Part 2 is solid B is mathematically similar to solid A. The ratio of volume of solid A to volume of solid B is 27:1. Calculate the surface area of solid B. So to calculate the area of B, we know that these are similar solids. So area of B divided by area of A. So the ratio of their areas will be equal to the square of the ratio of one of their dimensions. So we can take any dimensions. Let's take this height. So we'll use the height. So this will be height of B divided by height of A and then square. Now we have calculated the area of A in the first part. We know that height of A is given, which is 5 here. The only unknown here is height of B. If we know height of B, we can calculate the area of solid B. So to calculate height of B, we can use the ratio for volume that is given to us. So let's do ratio of volumes. So let me separate this up. So volume of B divided by volume of A will be height of B divided by height of A, and then since this is volume, I'll take the cube. So now let's substitute the values. So we know that volume of B over volume of A, which will be, so we're given A ratio B is 27:1. So B over A will be 1 over 27 equals to height of B is unknown, height of A is 5. So this will be height B over 5 cube. And if I take cube root on both sides, cube root of 27 is 3, cube root of 1 is 1. So this will become 1 over 3 equals to height of B divided by 5. And this will give you height of B as 5 over 3. So now let's use this in this equation to calculate the area of B. So area of B is unknown, area of A is 106, height of B is 5 over 3, and divided by height of A is 5, that is given to us here. And then we take the whole square. So area of B divided by 106. So this will become 503 divided by 5, 5 over 3 divided by 5, which becomes 5 over 3 multiplied by 1 over 5. I'll take the reciprocal, so this becomes 5 over 15. So this will be 5 over 15 whole square. And then area of B will be 5 square is 25, 15 square is 225, and I'll take this 106, it will be multiplied in the numerator. So this will give you area of B. So 25 over 225 multiplied by 106. So 11.777. So this I can write it as 11.8 centimeter square up till three significant figures. Yeah. So final answer here will be 11.8 centimeter square. This is your surface area of solid B. Question 8 is a bag contains 36 balls. There are n red balls in the bag. The rest of the balls are green. So that means if there are 36 total balls, n are red. So 36 minus n, they are green. Esther takes two balls from the bag at random without replacement. Complete the tree diagram below. So the probability of getting a red ball on the first try is n over 36 because there are n red balls and 36 total. And then as I mentioned earlier, 36 minus n green balls over 36 total balls will be the probability of getting the first ball of green color. Now these are the two remaining values that we have to fill. So if you pick up the first ball and it is green, how many red balls are left? Since the first one you picked is green, so there are still n red balls remaining. And if you pick the first ball, how many balls are remaining in the bag? 35. Since you are picking without replacement, that means if you pick the ball, you don't put it back in the bag. So the probability that the second ball is red here is n over 35 if the first ball picked is green. Now, what is the probability that the first is green? And then here you have to calculate the probability the second is green as well. So again, how many green are left if the first one that was picked was green? So initially you had 36 minus n, and then if you pick one green, how many are left? You minus one, you subtract one, so you're left with 35 minus n green balls. So you have 35 minus n divided by how many a total? 35 remaining. So this will be the probability that the second ball is green if the first one was green as well. Part B is write an expression in terms of n for the probability that Esther's first ball is red and her second ball is green. So first ball is red and then second ball is green. So that means you have to go down this path in the tree diagram. So n over 36 multiplied by 36 minus n over 35. So your answer will be n over 36 multiplied by 36 minus n over 35. Part C is the probability that Esther's first ball is red and her second ball is green is 1 over 7. Show that n square minus 36n plus 180 equals to 0. So we already calculated this probability in the previous part, which was n over 36 multiplied by 36 minus n over 35. And now you're given that this is equals to 1 over 7. So let's simplify this equation and see if we can show it in this form. So if I multiply these two, I will get n multiplied by 36 minus n. And in the denominator, you will have 36 times 35. 1260 equals to 1 over 7. So now if I open the bracket, I will get 36n minus n square. And if I take this 1260 to the other side, I will get 1260 divided by 7. So let's take everything to the right side. So on the left, you're left with 0. And then this will become plus n square minus 36n. And then 1260 divided by 7 is 180. So plus 180. So n square minus 36n plus 180 equals to 0. So that's what you had to show. Part D is solve the equation and then show your working. So this is the same equation as in the previous part. So we can solve this by factorization. So here I have plus 180 and the coefficient of n square is plus 1. So plus 1 multiplied by plus 180 is plus 180. So that means I need to look for factors of 180 that should add up to 180 because this is a plus sign. Oh, sorry, not add up. If they factors of 180, when I multiply them, I get positive 180. And if I add them, because there's a positive sign, I should get this minus 36 number. So the two factors are minus 30 and minus 6. So if I multiply them together, I get plus 180. And if I add them, I get minus 36. So I can use these two factors. So n square minus 30n minus 6n plus 180 equals to 0. So I can take n common here, n minus 30. And I can take minus 6 common here. So this will be n and this will be minus 30 as well. So n minus 30 into n minus 6 equals to 0. So n equals to 30 or n equals to 6. So n equals to 30 or n equals to 6. Part E is there are more green balls than red balls in the bag. Find the probability that Esther takes 2 green balls. Give your answer as a fraction in its lowest forms. So first, we need to check what is the actual value or the actual number of red balls in the bag. So in the start, we were given that there are n red balls in the bag, but here you have two values of n. Your n is either 30 or 6, but you're given there are more green balls than red balls. So if n equals to 30, then how many red balls are there? N, which is 30, and how many green are there? 36 minus 30, because there are 36 total balls, so green are 6. So this is not possible because in this case your number of green balls are less than the number of red balls, but you're given that there are more green balls. So if n equals to 6, then red balls are also 6 and green are 36 minus 6, which is 30. So this is the correct value of n, which is 6. So now you have to find the probability that Esther takes 2 green balls. So if we go back to the probability tree diagram, so now you have to go down this branch. First is green and then second is green as well. So this is 36 minus n over 36 and then 35 minus n over 35. So let's do that. So this probability will be 36 minus n over 36 multiplied by 35 minus n over 35. So 36 times 35 is 1260. And then I'll substitute the value of n, which is 6. So this will become 36 minus 6, which is 30, multiplied by 35 minus 6, which is 29. So I can cancel out this 0 with this. So 29 into 3 is 87 over 126. And I can divide by 3 in the numerator as well as the denominator. So 3 2s are 6, 2 27, 29, 3 4s are 12, and 3 2s are 6. So your final answer is 29 over 42, and this is the simplest form. So next question, question number 9. Part A is h is the point 52 and j is the point minus 36. Find the vector hj. So hj, so you're given position vectors of h and position vector of j. So hj will be oj minus oh. That is how you calculate this vector hj if you're given position vectors of h and j. So the position vector of the second here minus the position vector of the first here. So oj will be, this is the x and the y value, so this will be minus 3 and 6, and then this will be 5 and 2. Minus 3 minus 5 will be minus 8, 6 minus 2 will be 4. So this will be minus 8 and 4. Calculate the magnitude of hj. So magnitude of hj will be minus 8 square plus 4 square and then square root. So this will be 64 plus 16. 64 plus 16 square root of 80. So square root of 80 is 8.944. So 8.944. So up till 3 significant figures, I can write it as 8.94. M is the midpoint of hj. Find the position vector of m. So m, you have to find the position vector of m. So since m is the midpoint, so what I can do is uh, I'll first need to calculate the midpoints of hj. So to do that, or the position vector om will be the position vector of h plus position vector of j and then divide by 2 to calculate the midpoint. So position vector of h is 5, 2, 5, 2 plus position vector of j is minus 3, 6. And then after I add them together, I will divide them by 2. I will divide the answer by 2 to get the midpoint, which is the position vector of OM. So 5 minus 3 is 2. 2 plus 6 is 8. So 2, 8, and then divide by 2. And then 2 divided by 2 is 1. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So OM is 1, 4. So part B is the diagram shows a shape made from 7 identical equilateral triangles. OA is P, and OF vector is Q. So since these are equilateral triangles, so that means all of these lines will be P as well, and all of these will be uh, Q as well, because all are equilateral triangles, so all the sides are equal. So let's see the first part. Express as simply as possible in terms of P and or Q FB. So FB is this vector here. So FB can be written as this vector FG, which is the same as this P. So this is P, and GB is also P. So P plus P will be 2P, which is FB. Part B is FE. So FE is this vector. Since we are not given any values for vectors that are like this in the x-axis, so what we can do is we can calculate FE using the head to tail rule, which will be this FG plus GE. So FE will be equals to FG plus GE, and FG is the same as P and GE is the same as Q here. So this will be P plus Q. P plus Q. Part C is X is a point on FB such that Fx ratio XB is 3:1. So let me erase this. So X is a point on FB. So that means X lies on this line somewhere such that Fx ratio XB is 3:1. So that means Fx is longer because it is 3 parts, and XB is smaller because it is only 1 part. So Fx, so that means X lies somewhere here because Fx is bigger than XB because this is 3:1. So this would be Fx is 3, this would be 1 part, and FB full will be 3 plus 1, 4 parts. So that's how this ratio will be divided here. So the question asks express OX as simply as possible in terms of P and Q. So OX would be, let me choose a different color. So this will be your vector OX. Now again, we can use the head to tail rule. We can go in this direction OF, which is given as Q, and then add this here, which is Fx. So OF plus Fx will give me OX. So OX can be written as OF plus Fx. Now OF is known. I need to calculate this vector Fx. So you're given that Fx ratio XB is 3:1. So that means Fx is 3 and FB is 4 parts. So if I look at this ratio, Fx divided by FB, I will get 3/4 because Fx up till this point is 3 parts and FB the full length is 4 parts and XB is 1 part. So from this I get Fx equals to 3/4 times FB. And you have calculated FB, which is 2P. So that means this is 3/4 into 2P. 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4. So this is 3/2P. So now we can substitute the values here. OF is Q plus Fx is 3/2P. 3/2P. So your value for OX will be uh, Q plus 3 over 2P. So the next part is Y is a point on BD. Quadrilateral OXYF is a trapezium. Express XY as simply as possible in terms of P and or Q. So let me erase this now. So now you're given that Y is a point on BD. So that means Y lies on this line somewhere, BD. It could be here, it could be here, it could be here, it could be anywhere. So we don't know that yet. And then quadrilateral OXYF is a trapezium. So OX, oops, I deleted X. So X was here from the previous part, and this was 3:1. So OX and then YF is a trapezium. So let's mark Y somewhere here. We can always change the location afterwards. So let me draw the quadrilateral OXYF. So OXYF. So this line as well, and then this line, and this line here. So this is your quadrilateral OXYF, and you're told that this is a trapezium. So you know that for trapezium, you have two lines that are parallel. So in this case, the only unknown is where is the location of Y. It can move up or down. So this line and this line cannot be parallel because Y is here. So this line has to go in this direction. So it will always uh, intersect this line somewhere. So this XY cannot be parallel to OF. So that means Y is located such that the line OX and line YF are parallel so that this becomes a trapezium. So OX is parallel to YF. So this gives us some rough idea where Y is located. So I'll move Y down a little bit so that these two lines become parallel. So let's see. So maybe Y is here somewhere. So now this looks like a trapezium where this line is parallel to this line. Okay, let's go back. So it is a trapezium. You have to express xy as simply as possible in terms of p and q. So xy is this vector. So I can write xy using the head to tail rule as xo because we calculated ox in the previous part. So xo will be simply the negative of this. So xo plus of is also known, q, and then the last part is this fy. So if I can calculate fy, I can use the head to tail rule to calculate the this vector xy. So xy will be xo plus of plus fy. So now let's see how we can calculate this vector fy. So since vector fy is parallel to ox, that means I can write it as fy is some constant, let's call it c, multiplied by the vector uh, ox. Oops. So this is a constant c, and you have studied that if two vectors are parallel, they can be written as like one vector multiplied with the constant will equal the other vector. So fy is equals to some constant c multiplied by this vector ox. So what is ox? Ox, you have calculated it in the previous part. C times q plus 3 over 2 p. So this will be cq plus 3c by 2 p. And I can also write this fy as FB plus BY. So this is FB plus BY. So FB is how much? P plus P, 2P. So this is 2P plus this is Q. And since you don't know where exactly Y is, so I can write it as K times Q, right? So if it is right here at point C, it will be 1 times Q. If let's say Y was here halfway between B and C, it would have been half Q. If it is somewhere here, it can be 1.5 times Q. If it is right here at D, it will be 2Q. So vector By can be written as some constant K times Q, because we know that in this direction the vector is Q you're given here. So this is another value of Fy, 2P 2P plus K times Q. Some constant K multiplied by Q will get you to Y. So I can write this as Fy as well. So Fy is also equals to 2P plus K times Q. Now both of these are Fy. Now I can compare them directly to find the unknowns. So if I look at the P value here, P value is 2, and here P value is 3C by 2. So since these are same vectors, so these values should be equal. So that means 2 equals to 3C over 2. So 4, so this will give you C equals to 4 by 3. So now you know that this is 4 by 3. So here the, where is this? Here the coefficient of Q is C, and here the coefficient of Q is what? K. So now we can actually find the value of K as well. So K would be, let me move this. So let's compare the coefficients of Q now. So this is K here. And what is the coefficient of Q here? C. So K is equals to uh, 4 by 3. Yep. So this is K and C. So K and C have the same value. And from this we found out 3C by 2 equals to 2. C was 4 by 3. Okay, so this gives you Fy equals to 2P plus KQ. K is 4 by 3Q. So now we can calculate the vector xy. Xy will be, let's go back, XO plus OF. So XO plus OF plus Fy. So I can actually write it down here. What will be XO? XO will be the negative of this. So XO will be minus Q. Actually, let me write it down here. Minus Q minus 3 by 2P plus OF. What is OF? OF is simply Q plus Q plus Fy is this value here, 2P plus 4 by 3Q. So now let's simplify this. Plus Q minus Q is 0, so this will cancel out. Then you have 2P plus no, in fact you have 2P minus 3 by 2P plus 4 by 3Q. Now if I take the LCM, LCM will be 2. This will become 4P minus 3P plus 4 by 3Q. So this will be 4P minus 3P is 1P. So this will be 1 by 2P plus 4 by 3Q. So this is your final answer for the vector xy, which is 1 by 2P plus 4 by 3Q. Question number 10 is f of x is given and g of x, find f of minus 4. So f of minus 4 will be, you'll simply substitute minus 4 in place of x. So 3 minus 2 into minus 4 over 5. So this will be 3 plus 8 over 5, which is 11 divided by 5. So 11 divided by 5 is 2.2. So your answer here will be 2.2. Next part is find f inverse of x. So you let y equals to f of x. This gives you, if you take f to the other side, f inverse of y equals to x. So we'll use this later. So y equals to f of x is, y equals to f of x is 3 minus 2x over 5. Now we have to make x the subject of this equation. So I'll take 5 to the other side. 5y equals to 3 minus 2x. I'll bring this 2x here. Take this 5y to the other side. 3 minus 5y. And x equals to 3 minus 5y over 2. So in the beginning you have f inverse of y equals to x. So I'll substitute x here. F inverse of y equals to 3 minus 5y over 2. So this gives you f inverse of x will be 3 minus 5x over 2. So 3 minus 5x over 2. Part C is g of p equals to f of p plus 1. So g of p is, I'm given here g of x is x minus 7 over 4. So g of p will be, I'll simply substitute p here. So p minus 7 over 4. And what will be f of p plus 1? F of p plus 1 will be, I'll substitute p plus 1 in place of x. So 3 minus 2 into p plus 1 over 5. So this will be 3 minus 2p minus 2 over 5. 3 minus 2 is 1. So this will be 1 minus 2p over 5. So now you're given that these two are equal. So p minus 7 over 4 will equal this value here, 1 minus 2p over 5. So now we can solve this equation and find the value of p. So let's cross multiply. 5 will be multiplied here. So 5p minus 35 equals to 4 will be multiplied here. 4 minus 8p. So I'll bring this 8p here. So 5p plus 8p and take this 35 to the other side. 4 plus 35. So this will be 13p equals to 39 and p equals to 3. So your final value of p is 3. So this is the end of paper 2 variant 1 for October November 2020.